We're just trying to figure out which one. So do we want to start with 1 and 2? Which ones do we want to do? Do we want to go down to 3, 4? Do we want to start with 5 or 6? Which ones should we start with? I'm just trying to figure out which ones you guys feel comfortable with. What one do you guys want to start with? Start with number 4? Start with number 4? Okay. So number 4 says, let me zoom in. Number 4 says the absolute value of negative 2r is greater than or equal to 18. So with this one, the absolute value sign is already alone, and the number's on the other side. And the number that's on the other side is positive, which is good, because that means that this one is solvable. Remember, if the absolute value sign was alone and the number on the other side was negative, you would say, like, oh, that's a negative distance, I can't do anything, no solution. So we have a positive number on the other side, that means we can do something. When the absolute value is all alone, that's where we look at the sign, the inequality sign, and we figure out which one. This is a greater sign. It's a greater sign. So from the video, is this one of the ones where they're sandwiched between two numbers, or is this one of the ones where the arrows go opposite directions? This is opposite directions. They go opposite directions, okay? So we're going to write this. We're going to split it. We're going to have two answers. We're going to say negative 2r is less than or equal to negative 18, or negative 2r is greater than or equal to positive 18. So you can see that we wrote it so that our arrows are splitting and they're going opposite directions. And that's because it's or. It's one or the other. They go opposite directions. And then we just have to solve them separately. So over here, what should we do to solve for r? What is the 2 doing right now? Think about what the 2 is doing right now. If you were to read this out loud and say what the 2 and the r are doing, what are they doing? They're multiplying. So how do you undo multiply? It's divide. Okay, so we're going to divide by negative 2. And if you divide by a negative, then what do you have to do with the symbol? You have to switch it. Okay, so r is greater than or equal to, and then what number is this right here? You're close. Positive 9, perfect. Okay, positive 9. And then over here we're going to do the same thing. We're going to divide by negative 2. And 18 divided by negative 2 is negative 9. Okay, so r and negative 9, and then what do we have to do with the symbol? Switch it. Okay, so right now, because we had to switch the symbols when we did the problem, the arrows are pointing at each other, and we know they're not supposed to do that because this is an or problem. They should be pointing like away from each other. And what happened is we ended up with the smaller number over here and the bigger number over here, and that shouldn't be the case either. The smaller number should be on the left side and the bigger number should be on the right side. So when we divided by the negative, what ended up happening is our answers got kind of all switched around. So I'm just going to fix it so that it looks right. I'm going to say r is less than or equal to negative 9, or r is greater than or equal to positive 9. So I just took the bigger answer and I moved it to the right side. I took the smaller answer, I moved it to the left side. It wouldn't be wrong if you didn't do that. It would just look weird, that's it. Like math people would look at you like you didn't really know what you were doing, like you were faking it a little bit, but you wouldn't necessarily be wrong. Talana, there's a desk over there. Okay. I was going to say he moved out of it for you. All right. Are we okay with that one? Did that one make sense? Okay. If you look at the paper, what's another one we should do? Do you guys want to do number 5 or 6? Those ones have the like fractions in them. Which one? 6? Okay. Okay, so we have n minus 10 over 2 is less than 2. Okay. Any ideas on what we could do first? You're close. So that's what's happening right now. It is being divided by 2. So how could we undo that? Multiply by 2. Yeah. So the whole absolute value problem is being divided by 2. So we want to undo that. We're going to go times 2 on the left side, times 2 on the right side. And at this point, we have the absolute value is all by itself, and the number is all by itself. And this number is a positive, so we can do the problem. And if we look at this, this is a less than. It's a less than, so it makes a sandwich. So is it saying it's in between the two numbers, or the numbers go opposite directions? It's in between. So we're going to write the n minus 10. And then I'm going to take the symbols. And those are in between -4 and +4. So if we want the n to be alone, what should we do? Add 10, yeah. We got n minus 10, so we're going to add 10. And we're going to add 10 to the right side, and we're going to add 10 to the left side. So n is in between what numbers? 6 and 14. Is there one more you guys want to do? Is there one that looks intimidating on the front side? Maybe like 9 or 10? Yeah? Which one? 10? Okay. So if we do number 10, we have 2 plus 4 times the absolute value of 8 minus 2k is less than or equal to 82. Okay. So this one's got a lot of stuff going on. So we can kind of go back and use what we learned with the equations, right? Or we can say, all right, is there something I should add or subtract to move it over to the other side? Hey guys, I shouldn't hear any talking. Zero talking. No words. You're just taking notes, and then you're getting back over here as soon as you can. Zero talking. Is there anything you can add or subtract over to the other side? Yeah, what is it? The 2? Okay. So it's a positive 2 right now. How do we move a positive 2? We subtract it. Okay. And then we ask, is there anything I can multiply or divide over to the other side? Divide by 4. So there's a 4 that's currently being multiplied. We're going to divide it over. And at this point, we have the absolute value is completely by itself on one side, the number is completely alone on the other side, and the number is positive. So we can work with this. So now I look at my sign, and what's the name of that sign? Less than. This is a less than sign. Okay. So is this a sandwich where they're going together, or is this where they're going opposite directions? This is a sandwich. Okay, so I'm going to say that 8 minus 2k is sandwiched in between negative 20 and positive 20. And then in here, if I want to get the k alone, what do I need to do? Subtract the 8. Okay. And so negative 2k is now in between which numbers? Yeah, negative 28 and positive 12. Okay. And then what do we have to do? Divide by negative 2. Okay, and then when you divide by negative 2, what happens to your symbols? They switch. Okay. And so now the bigger number is going to be on the left side, which we know is kind of wrong, but we're going to fix that in a little bit. So what's the bigger number now? The bigger number. 14. Okay, but it's on the left side, which is kind of wrong. And then the smaller number, negative 6. Okay, and see how your arrows are kind of going the wrong direction now? We flipped them so they're kind of going the wrong direction. Okay, so I got my smaller number on the right, my bigger number on the left. I'm just going to flip it around. I'm going to put my smaller number on the left and my bigger number on the right, and I'm going to fix my arrows. And then there's my answer. Now, you could leave the answer that's up here. This one is not mathematically incorrect. It's fine. It just is like if somebody asked for my name and I said my name is Rice Catherine, they'd be like, "Ooh, that's an interesting way of saying it." You're not wrong. That is your name. That's just a weird way of saying it. Backwards. Okay. So this is the way that more people would be comfortable with, but if you said it this way, you're not wrong, you're just weird, you know? Okay. So what we're going to do is the front side of the worksheet. That's all we're going to work on. If you want to do the back, you can. The back side of the worksheet is extra credit. Okay? Front side, back side is extra credit. So you've got 7 more problems. I'm going to bounce around and help you guys. And then if at some point you feel like we're feeling overwhelmed, we want to see another one of these, let me know and I can do another one with you individually, or I can do one up in front of the group. Okay? All right.